In the frozen lands of the north, where icy winds ceaselessly scour the tundra, there lived a warrior named Eirik. Known for his strength and valor, Eirik had always been guided by his Fylgja, a spirit animal chosen by fate to accompany and protect him. Eirik's Fylgja was a mighty wolf, its eyes burning with an unearthly fire, symbolizing loyalty and fierce protection. For many years, the bond between Eirik and his wolf Fylgja was unbreakable, leading his tribe to victories and upholding the honor of his people. However, as the shadows grew longer and the weight of power became a burden, Eirik's ambition festered. In a moment of weakness, he struck a deal with a rival tribe, betraying his own kin. The night he sealed his treacherous pact, the air grew colder, and a menacing silence draped the village. When Eirik returned to his tent, he found his wolf Fylgja waiting, its eyes now a cold, lifeless blue. The bond between warrior and spirit had been severed. Eirik felt an icy shiver run down his spine as the wolf's gaze turned from protective to predatory. Days turned into weeks, and strange misfortunes began to befall Eirik. His once loyal warriors grew distrustful, sensing a change in him that they could not understand. Crops failed, livestock perished, and an eerie presence seemed to shadow Eirik's every step. One night, as the moon hung like a specter in the sky, Eirik awoke to the sound of growls echoing through his tent. His wolf Fylgja was there, its form shimmering between the physical and spectral realms. The creature lunged at him, and Eirik felt the searing pain of its bite, not on his flesh but on his very soul. Racked with guilt and pain, Eirik sought counsel from the village's seer, an old woman with eyes like the depths of the sea. She told him that the Fylgja had turned against him because he had betrayed his destiny and kin. To seek forgiveness from the spirits, Eirik would have to make the ultimate sacrifice. Desperate to reclaim his honor and rid himself of the curse, Eirik ventured into the heart of the frozen wilderness, where the boundaries between the living and the dead blur. Under the pale light of the northern lights, he stood at the edge of a bottomless gorge, his wolf Fylgja beside him, its eyes now a haunting blend of sorrow and expectation. With a final, anguished cry, Eirik leapt into the abyss, offering his life in atonement. As he fell, he felt the icy grip of the wolf's fangs release, and a whisper of peace washed over him. In death, Eirik hoped to find the redemption that had eluded him in life. The tale of Eirik the Betrayer was told for generations, a grim reminder of the unbreakable bond between a warrior and his fate, and the dire consequences when that bond is shattered by treachery. Elias Blackwood had always believed death could be outwitted. A scholar of the occult, he spent his life searching for a way to evade the inevitable. Old and frail, he finally found it, a ritual that promised immortality. On a moonless night, in his candlelit study, Elias whispered the incantations. The air grew thick, the shadows deepened, and for a moment he felt triumphant. But when his heart seized and breath failed him, he realized too late that he had made a terrible mistake. Instead of granting eternal life, the ritual had condemned his soul. Elias awoke in darkness, a spectral shade drifting aimlessly. He found himself on the shores of an inky black river, the river Styx. Wisps of fog curled above the water, and faint whispers echoed, the voices of the dead. Across the waters, he could see the far bank, shadowy and indistinct, a place of rest and peace. Disperat, il y a souk de passage. He called for Sharon, the ferryman who guided souls across the Styx. A skeletal figure robed in black appeared, his hollow eyes staring through Elias. I have no coin, Elias pleaded. I seek passage, a way to the afterlife. Karen's voice was like the sound of bones breaking. You chose a different path. Your soul is forfeit. Panic surged in Elias's chest. He tried to wade into the waters, but the river resisted, an unseen force pushing him back. The cold seeped into his essence, gnawing at what was left of his humanity. Days turned into weeks, or maybe centuries. Time had no meaning here. Elias watched as countless souls were ferried across, each time begging Sharon for mercy. Each time, he was ignored, left to wander the grim shore. Other lost souls occasionally drifted by, their eyes vacant, their spirits broken. Elias spoke to them, sought companionship, but they were distant, caught in their own endless despair. In his solitude, Elias's mind began to fracture. He relived the ritual, cursing his hubris. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. They spoke of release, of surrender, but nothing eased the torment. One day, in a rare moment of clarity, Elias saw a gleaming coin on the riverbank. Trembling, he picked it up and ran to Sharon, hope rekindled in his spectral chest. Sharon took the coin, but as Elias stepped into the boat, the ferryman's skeletal grin widened. Too late, Sharon intoned, and the coin dissolved into mist. Elias's scream echoed through the abyss, swallowed by the eternal darkness. With renewed dread, he understood. He was forever trapped, neither living nor dead, a prisoner on the shores of the river Styx. A cautionary tale of a man who tried to cheat death and lost more than his life.